What I'm doing is absolutely crazy, but I think it will work anyway. And I'm going to lay out why I think it will work, why it's crazy, and what exactly I'm doing. This is day 18 of posting every single day, at least 4 times a day, until I become a successful personality based YouTube channel. All right, so I just recorded this entire thing without pressing the record button, so I'm kind of pissed off right now. I'm not going to lie. Like I was fucking going, okay? I had probably been talking for a straight 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay, let's see how long I've been going. I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job here. And then I look over and it's not fucking recording. So what's up? Let's see how much of the old energy I can capture in this new take, right? Why is what I'm doing crazy? Well, what I'm doing is a completely 100% personality based YouTube channel. Now, that causes a lot of problems on YouTube. And I'll explain why for those of you who are not content creators or are not aspiring content creators. Thank you. Anyway, whenever you are a personality-based channel, there is no draw for a viewer to click on your video, right? If the video is just me playing a game, all of the entertainment value of the video comes from me, right? And my ability to be entertaining and funny and deliver and do all of that, right? Now, normally on YouTube, you would like the viewer to have a reason to click on your video, right? Of course, you want them to see a video and think, oh, I want to watch that. Here's a reason I should watch that video. And you want to give that to the viewer. But with a personality-based channel, that's much more difficult to do because I am supposed to be the reason you watch the video and you have no idea who I am, right? You can't possibly know anything about me because we've never met before. And if we have, you've maybe watched one video or two. You really don't know me. And while I'm making an effort to give you a window into who I am, right, especially with videos, like these and trying to be radically authentic on here, your first run-in with me, you'll have no idea who I am. So there's no reason for you to click. So already making it very hard to pick anybody up in the YouTube algorithm, making it very hard for anybody to find you. Then you have to keep them there, right? And that's a very difficult skill to have, right? I'm sure I'm not even doing it in this video. I'm very aware that I'm bad at it. I'm trying to get better. I'm working tirelessly to get better at it. But once people click on your video, you have to keep them watching, and then you need them to come back and watch more of your content, which is a very difficult thing to do when you are the only reason they would ever show up and watch to begin with, right? So if I'm not your vibe, if I'm not entertaining enough, if I'm not funny enough, if I stumble over too many words, you might just go, this guy's boring, I'm out. And that's what 90% of people are probably going to do no matter what. So I have to learn how to capture that 10% and keep them around and keep the people like you who are still watching this entertained and interested, because that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm doing this. I want to entertain you and build a relationship with you and all that good stuff. So I'm playing the YouTube game on hard mode. And I'm in a lot of YouTube spaces, right? I'm in like Discords and things like that where people are all, I would say, chasing the same dream or, working towards the same thing. I think it's very important to be in spaces like that for whatever it is you're doing. If you're like trying to become a musical artist, you should hang around other musicians who are on the same path as you, because you can learn and, feel the struggle together. I think that's important. So I'm in those spaces and I see so many small channels who are not seeing any success. And they honestly, it's painful to say this, but they likely never will. I would love them to see success, but they're just not willing to do what it takes. They're too hung up on things, or they fall into traps and they have no interest in getting out of them, right? So most people just simply will not make it. So I've seen people who are doing the exact same type of content I am who will never see success. I have seen examples of channels who have uploaded every single day consistently for years and made no progress because they just aren't getting better. They haven't figured it out. They haven't figured out that what they're doing will never work, right? And then in that same vein, I see people in established Discords where people have seen success, where there's a lot of full-time YouTubers, some big names that you probably know. I see them talking and they're like, yeah, doing what I'm doing right now is essentially the worst thing you can possibly do. And I agree 100%. It is the most difficult thing you can do on YouTube, probably. It's very, 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 very hard to grow this way because of all of the reasons I laid out before. But we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. I am so confident that I will get there. And now we can move on to the second part of the video after I take a small sip of water. Okay. So why am I going to make it when everyone else fails? Why am I delusional about this? How do I know? First of all, volume. I'm in a very privileged position as already a full-time content creator where I have a channel that will pay my bills roughly, right? I can probably coast for like a month or two, maybe 3, and not be homeless. We might be living on credit cards a little bit, but I can't do that. I'm in that position. I own all my time. I am also willing to take risks. I'm willing to go in all in like this, right? I'm willing to say, fuck it, we ball. Let's go. I will fucking grind this out. And if we get there, we get there. If not, we'll fucking figure it out when we don't get there. But we're going to get there. So it doesn't even matter, right? I'm willing to take risk and I own all my time. If I didn't own all my time, right? If I, maybe I can provide some extra value here to someone who's an aspiring creator. First of all, don't do what I'm doing. Do what I'll describe in a second. But I would get a part-time job, cut back on hours, something like that, so that you can devote like 4 or 5 hours a night to YouTube. For like 6 months to a year straight, my partner and I, our life looked like this. She would go to work. I would work from home. We would work for, X amount of hours in the day. We'd come home. She'd come home. I would be home already. Then we would work on YouTube for like 4 to 5 hours. We'd go run and then we'd go to bed. Work, YouTube, run, bed. Every day for like, 6 months to a year, something like that. We would take weekends off or something, whatever we could do to make it manageable. But I mean, we were grinding, right? We were grinding the hell out of this shit to get good at it because it's what we wanted to do. So I've already grinded once. I know what to do. I've already ground once. Now I've got the volume. I have the privilege of being able to do this full time and devote all my time to this. So that's 2. 3. The third thing that I think will allow me to win where other people fail. So, as I was saying before, it's all about me, right? In a self-centered, narcissistic way, it's about me and what I can bring to the table. At all times, it is a value judgment on my ability to be entertaining, and I constantly have to separate that from the fact that it's not a value judgment on me as a person, right? Got to juggle that with my ego. But that's number 4, ego. We'll talk about that next. But the skill, right? The skill of being entertaining, of communicating off the top of my head, being articulate, bringing energy, being entertaining, and bringing value for you, the viewer. That's the whole goal, right? Is I have to be valuable to you. I have to work tirelessly to build a relationship with you so that I'm worth watching, right? That's a skill that is very, very, very difficult to develop because, think about it. You need to literally be one of the most entertaining people on the planet. That's a tall order, right? That's a big ask. And there are a lot of people on the planet. So even getting into like the top 10% of most entertaining people probably lands you a spot where you can pay your bills. But damn, top 10% of all the people on earth in entertaining, that's rough. That's a big ask, okay? And I fully get that, right? I fully understand just how big of an ask that is, but I will do it. I understand that it is that I need to get better, right? I'm constantly like, I watch my videos back occasionally. I'm looking for things like, where did I stumble? What did I say that I liked? Oh, I did this thing, or I had this reaction here. I like that a lot. How can I recreate it? Oh, this was actually funny. I made myself laugh. Like, how can I do more of that? Stuff like that is what I'm looking for. I'm trying to get better. I think a lot of those people who post for years without ever seeing success doing exactly what I'm doing, a big reason they don't see that success that they want is because they don't improve. They improve in ways that don't matter, right? If I am a personality-based channel and everything relies on how entertaining I can be, that should be the sole skill I focus on, in my opinion, right? Because no amount of editing, no amount of like thumbnails and titles, no amount of anything else is really going to make up for the fact that when you watch me, I'm boring, okay? But if I am super entertaining, if you just love hanging out with me, I love hanging out with you, then it doesn't matter what I do. I will watch streamers I like fuck with their audio for 2 hours in near silence because I just like hanging out with the dude, right? That's what I like doing. And so you could do anything, and I could do anything and you would hang out with me. And that's the goal, right? Is to get to that level of entertainment and relationship with you. So I feel like that's the only skill that matters. So volume. I've forgotten the second thing. Wait, I've forgotten the first thing, actually. Anyway, you got the list, okay? You're keeping the list for me. I trust you. And the next thing, the ego, right? You have to abandon the ego completely, essentially, totally, absolutely. When it comes to making YouTube videos, I would say the easiest way to see success, as I said I would talk about this, is go find a niche that you are somewhat interested in. You have to like it. You don't have to love it, though. You got to like it at least, because you're going to have to make like 100 videos at least on it. Go pick that thing. Find information that is not on YouTube already. Compile it into a nice, neat little video package, a nice script, and edit well as to the best of your ability. Give a nice voiceover. Try not to sound like a robot. Take all that, package it up into a beautiful little video, and put it on YouTube. Do that 100 times, and you'll be farther than 99% of people ever get on YouTube, because the value you bring to the viewer is very clear. So, for instance, one hidden secret on every Overwatch map. This is a video I have done. I think it has like 200K, 300K views, something like that. And the reason is, it provides value to the viewer. They're like, oh, I like Overwatch. I like the maps. I want to know more about them. Please tell me more about the maps. And I'm like, okay, I will tell you more about the maps. Just click on the video and watch, and I will tell you more about the maps. I promise. And the whole time I'm like, hey guys, today we're going to be learning about the Overwatch maps, just like I said you would. And here's one of the maps, and here's the thing that I said you would learn, and blah, 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 so on and so forth. And I'm delivering on the promise I made to the viewer, right? That is the easiest way to grow. This is the hardest. And so because I have to be entertaining and funny and interesting and all of that jazz, like that's the only reason people will watch these videos, really. It's very difficult to separate your ego from those things, right? You have to give up all pretense of production value, right? So like, I don't give a fuck about my background. My hair's a mess. Just slam the table, the editing, the pauses, the breathing, the shitty webcam that I think I fucked up a little bit here. All of that stuff, right, stays in, because I simply don't have time to fix it. I have to record 4 videos today, okay? I need to make thumbnails for some of them. They've got to be edited at least a little bit. The ends and the beginnings have to be chopped off or whatever, like all that stuff has to get done. And I need to do it 4 times. It's a lot of work, at least 4 times. I want to do more to get the volume and to get good at the skill that I think is most important. So I have to forego all of the ego stuff. Like, do I look nice? Is my background nice? Is the lighting the way that I want it? Did I stumble? And then I have to not ascribe the failure of being unentertaining to myself. Like, as a person, I have to be like, it's not a statement on my value when a video that is solely based on my ability to be entertaining does badly, right? It's not about me, okay? It's always about you, the viewer. It's about doing stuff that you want. So when I fail, it's not saying I'm a bad person or I'm a worthless person because I can't be entertaining right now in the way that I would like to be. It's a very difficult thing to separate, okay? Whereas before, I could spend 20 hours on a video and worry about the lighting and the script and making sure that every word sounds the way that I want to. And if I make a mistake, I can go re-record it and stuff like that. There's a lot less ego attached to it, especially because the content wasn't about me in any way, shape, or form. It was always about the topic or the information I found. So I think those are the 3 or 4 reasons that I will be successful, that I know I'll be successful in this, because I am willing to take the risk, willing to do a sheer amount of volume, willing to get better, and willing to sacrifice my ego and embarrass myself to succeed. And I won't stop until I get there. I didn't really have like a super concrete plan for today's log. I don't even know if I said it in the beginning. We're on day 18. But this is just an idea that I've been bouncing around because I saw people in a very well-established Discord talking about how unedited Let's Plays are the worst thing to do. And people wonder why they don't succeed doing unedited Let's Plays in 2025, almost 2026 now. But I am so unbelievably determined, right, to make it work, to prove everybody wrong. I don't know why I have that desire, but there's something very real. Maybe it's because it's what I want to do. Like, personally, I just love doing this. But also, it's the way that I started YouTube. When I first started, I did unedited Let's Plays. And ever since I figured out, like, oh, that's not going to work, let me do other stuff, and found success, I was always like, I need to come back to it and do it, because I just want to prove that I can do it, that it can be done, that there's a way to do it. And I'm so determined to figure out what that way is. Those are the reasons that I think I will figure it out, where everybody else does not, where most people don't. Not everybody else. Some people do. And I don't think I'll get lucky, really. I'm hoping that all these logs will also serve as like a little bit of inspiration for people. They can look back on and see, look, man, I didn't get lucky. I came in with some skills and knowledge you probably didn't have because I'm already a full-time creator, but I very clearly grinded the fuck out of this to get where I am in the future, right? And we're close. We're already close to monetization, so it's moving faster than I thought. And I know it will continue to move faster than I think it will, and we'll get there in no time because I'm going to brute force the reality I want into existence. Yep. So don't do what I'm doing. Do the other thing that I said. If you want help with that, reach out. I would love to help anybody become a full-time content creator to the best of my ability. I'll tell you what I know and help you how I can. But what I'm doing is crazy. I don't think it'll work for most people, but I'll make it work no matter what because I'm also crazy. Have a great day, guys. I think we're going back to the camera. I feel like I lost something whenever I started doing the Halo stuff. I want you to be able to see me and like look back in time and see how I looked and physically change, not just mentally as we go through this journey together. So I will see you in the rest of the videos today. Hopefully I remember to press record when I start those, right? Deuces.